Welcome to Appetite for Production, two unsupervised men, two microphones, and lots of bullshit to talk about music technology.
That's right. Who are we, James?
I am James Russell, music software journalist who does a lot of writing and video stuff.
And I am Tim Cant, a dance music producer and also music tech journalist and general gun for hire. And what are we going to be talking about today, Jamie boy?
We're going to be talking about advanced compressors.
Oh, wow. Fascinating.
Genre judgments.
Oh, wicked. I'm one of the most judgmental people I know, so I look forward to that.
We're going to be reminiscing on the 15th anniversary of GarageBand.
Oh my God, we're so old.
And many more things. So let's dive in to the episode.
Wicked. I've got my swimming cap on. Let's go.
What have you been up to recently, Tim, baby?
Do you know what I've been playing with recently, bruv?
What?
This is going to blow your mind.
Blow it now.
I've been playing with Dext.
Ooh, okay.
The
Digital Suburban DX7 Tribute open source synth.
That's absolutely correct. Yeah. I've been ill all over the holiday season.
Yay!
But there was one evening where I summoned the strength to get on my computer and I played with Dext and I wanted to have a fiddle with the original DX7 presets, bruv. As you do, which was a little bit trickier than you'd think because you can download all these gigantic libraries of thousands and thousands of patches.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to work out what was what.
Did we do something about Dext for Plugin Boutique?
No.
Or am I getting confused?
No, because it's... No, I don't think we did.
No, I did something about Dext very briefly for Plugin Boutique, and I downloaded it. I was writing about it. I've never actually used it, but I've heard a lot about it, and I was checking out a lot about it, and I was writing about it, and I got really like, yes, I actually really want this. And so I downloaded it, and I was like, it's just going to be sitting in my plugins folder for a while, and one day I'm going to see it, I'm going to call it up, but I haven't yet. But do go on.
Well, I don't have much interesting to say about it, apart from it took a while to work out what the original DX7 presets were.
Uh-huh.
And they're pretty good. I played around with some patches, and I quite like the sounds. The trouble is, I find the Dext interface a lot less intuitive than, say, FM8, for example.
Okay, but better than a DX7, right?
Well, yeah, I've never used a DX7. Thank the Lordy, because I bet it would be really horrendous. Yeah. I mean, I don't like any digital synth interface. The easiest one I've used is the Roland Alpha Juno, and that's simple but a pain in the bum, basically.
Right.
But it's yeah, those patches stand the test of time, I think it's fair to say, basically. And yeah, it seems really cool. And I mean, I've never played an actual DX7 myself, but they certainly sounded like the sort of sound that you've heard on many, many records. So
I've never heard it myself, but it certainly sounded like I thought it should sound.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you check out any of the non-DX7 patches at all?
No.
Racist.
Why would I, mate? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. What else? I've had a bit of a fanny with my vintage keys.
Yeah. How are they sounding? Lovely and vintage?
Yeah, they sound all right.
Timeless.
The trouble is, when I got it, I had to play with the presets, and it seemed like it was kind of like a bit of a mess. I was like, okay, I'm going to reset this to factory settings. A bunch of the sounds disappeared, and I think those ones were actual presets because I've heard them on records and stuff. And I had a bit of a deep dive onto the internet to try and find out what the deal was, but it seems incredibly complicated, and there's not a lot of info out there. So now I'm just like, well, whatever. Basically,
so this is your vintage keys rack unit, which you bought from Cash Converters. It is by EMU, right?
EMU, yeah.
EMU.
But it sounds decent enough, and I've been doing a bit of a resampling with it, which I've enjoyed. Cool. So that's pretty cool. Oh, and I've been doing this distortion and saturation thing for Plugin Boutique, bruv.
The top 5.
The top 5 Friday, and I tell you what, mate, that XLN Audio RC20 retro color, mate.
Ooh.
Pretty good, man.
Yeah, that's got rave reviews. They've just made a lovely little sort of vintageizer and retroizer
Yeah.
distortion, saturation.
It is more than the sum of its parts, bruv.
Oh, you should patent that.
Yeah. I think I'm the first person to coin that phrase. Yeah, it's really good. And I don't know, I think it's the most sort of convincing and sort of useful, creatively sort of lo-fi retro thing that I've played with, I think. And it would not surprise me if a lot of lo-fi house and synthwave people were using that. Because it makes things sound absolutely knackered. So it's pretty cool.
What retroizing modules has it got in it?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but the one I really liked was the dropout one, because I'm a dropout, James, as you know.
Yes.
And that does stuff. Well, it makes the signal drop out in a pseudo random fashion, and nothing else I've really seen has done that. I mean, the wow and the flutter's cool, or whatever. The reverb / delay was very nice as well, in conjunction with all that other stuff.
Retro reverb and delay?
I guess. I mean, it's when you whack everything on it, it sounds retro enough. So I was pretty happy with that. And the other thing I really liked was, which I've somehow never seen before, Isotope Trash 2, the impulse responses, the mech animals.
Mech animals?
Mech animals, I guess, rather than mech animals.
Yeah, I remember. That rings a bell.
Yeah, well, it's basically just like a load of animal-flavoured impulse responses.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you run your sounds through it, it makes them sound like screeching small animals, which is obviously very useful.
Can you give us a taste?
So you want to hear some trash, do you, buddy?
So this is what? This is impulse responses that are actually animal sounds, and when you put your normal sounds through them, it animalizes them.
Yeah, well, should we try it? So I've loaded up Serum as a kind of source. So should we just try running a sine through them?
I guess so.
Is that going to be better than a sawtooth? I can't work it out. It's too early for me to...
I think...
We can try
not.
it, but okay, well, shut up. Okay, I'll try a sine.
I think you need something full band, but try a sine.
Oh, I'll full band you in a minute.
Okay, so put it through standard distortion first.
Okay. Oh. What sort of distortion do you want? I'll go for just
anything.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at those harmonics.
Oh, I see the harmonics. Life is meaningful again.
Yeah, it is. What is life without harmonics, James? Nothing. So that's the distortion. I'm going to turn that off, because it's not nearly as interesting as animal noises. So a mechanical folder.
Okay, what have we got?
So I'm going to ask you to choose.
Okay.
Your choices are badger.
Oh, yes, badger.
No, you've got to read out the whole list. Cat.
Yes, do the cat.
No. Dog.
Dog, I want the dog.
Goose.
No.
Monkey.
Yes.
Pig.
Yes.
Snake.
Yes.
Toad.
Definitely.
Tortoise.
Please do the tortoise.
Out of all of those, which is your favourite?
Oh, man.
What's your favourite animal? You've got to choose one.
Start with the badger, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know what badger sounds like.
I'm going to turn up my...
What happens if you put a saw wave through it?
Let's try that. That's a great idea. Oh, God.
That sounds just like a badger.
It does. Mate, if you've ever encountered a robot badger when you're trolling through Green Hill Zone, you will know that that's what it sounds like.
Can you do the pig?
The pig, okay.
That's just a bit formanty.
Yes, well, this is the well, when I say interesting, not really.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with a dubstep artist called Borgor?
Absolutely not.
He always had these really piggy sounding wobs in his tunes. I was like, how does he do it?
Piggy wobs.
I think I've got a fairly good idea now, basically.
Could you choose one of Serum's sequence presets?
Yeah, why not? Let's go for Diver. Is that the sound of your nightmares?
Yeah, that is a...
Oh, God, it goes on forever.
That is a robot pig coming to kill me.
Yeah. How about New School Raver? Oh, God, they all just sound like...
Okay, let's go on to tortoise.
Yeah, why not?
Sounds very similar to a pig.
They all sound real similar.
Monkey.
Oh, that's cat. His monkey.
Okay, change the sequence patch to something nice and bubbly and signy.
Oh, God. I don't know what that is. Dreams? That sounds...
Yes.
Ooh.
So that's Dreams Through a Monkey.
Yeah.
I think that was a Bach piece back in the 17th century.
Well, speaking of Bach pieces, how about some dog?
Okay, well, oh, goose. We need the goose.
Yeah, let's get goosey. Well, I'll change the preset as well. I'm going to go for Canon.
What's good for the goose is good for serum.
This kind of future-basedy vibe.
Yeah, I mean, it's very degrading to the audio, not to us.
It's degrading for the goose. What about a snake noise?
Yeah, okay, let's try
It's
it.
going to hiss us up. Ooh, that sounds pretty nice. Let me try a different preset. Let's go for bass cracking. Ooh. And how about some toads?
Oh, Toad Me. Oh, yeah, I like that.
So yeah, man, Trash 2 is pretty cool. Oh, the other thing as well, which I didn't realise.
Go on.
I will go on. It's got a multiband dynamics processor, and unlike Neutron and current iterations of Ozone, you can set it to 4 multibands. So if you miss Alloy and it's 4-band processing, then yeah, it's worth taking a look at Trash 2, I reckon. I'm not going to do anything with that now because
It's pretty old now, isn't it?
Well, Trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's vintage, mate. That's what it sounds so good.
Pretty much, and you might think, oh, maybe one day they'll come out with Trash 3. Who knows?
But yeah, I mean, what do you do for the Trash that has everything, mate? I don't know.
Yeah.
So yes, that's interesting. So what have you been getting up to? Anything exciting?
I've been doing a few things. I've been putting up with those people who type really loudly and aggressively.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm one of those myself. So yeah.
Putting up with one of those in the office.
Oh dear. Are you not wearing headphones?
I am more often because of it.
Yeah.
But it's annoying when that happens. But I'll go with it for now.
What about noise cancelling headphones?
They don't exist, Tim. Bose was one of the Illuminati, didn't you know?
What? Oh man.
I've been doing a big ass sort of cutting edge mixing feature for Future Music.
Okay.
And as part of the regular monthly plugin roundup I do for Future Music, where I compare 5 plugins of a certain type, to fit in with that cover feature, I've done a roundup of advanced compressors.
Oh yeah.
So not just attack, release, threshold, and ratio, my friend.
What
but
else is there?
Crazy controls.
Like what?
Like hysteresis and knee and...
So that's when a woman goes crazy because she's got a womb, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, right.
That's from what I've found.
Okay, what were the others?
You got your knee control, you've got your range control, but some of the things I've been looking at are mental. In particular, Melda Productions M-Turbo Comp.
Yeah.
So Turco Comp would
Turkey
be a better
compressor.
name. That is mental. It has got 4.
Oh my god! Yeah.
4 envelope followers, which
Yeah.
you can set to different definitions. 4 actual compressors.
Which are driven by the envelope thingies, aren't they? Yeah.
4 stages of saturation and EQ, not just of the sidechain, but actual of the signal. That was nuts. You get some crazy controls in there. Yuhi Presswork.
Oh, I don't know that one.
It's Yuhi's compressor. It sort of, it didn't get very well known, but it is very good. It's like a sort of multi-analog compressor thingy. That was very good. It's got little easy modes as well, where you can just load up a preset and the interface changes to a certain type of compressor.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Or you can dial in those compressors on your own.
Yeah, you've got too much time on your hands.
Yeah, DMG Audio Compassion.
Oh, I don't know Compassion.
You know Equilibrium, don't you?
Oh, I sure do.
And you know that's an insane EQ. So you can imagine Compassion is an insane compressor with all the functions you could ever need and many functions that no one would ever need. But that's exactly what this roundup was for. The craziest of crazy. Blue Cat Audio, Blue Cat Dynamics.
Oh, okay.
As another one, sort of compression and gating and the same thing, and crazy, like you can select the response and tweak the attack shape and stuff like that. And what was the other one? I don't know. But
It clearly left a massive impression on you.
yeah, oh no, I did Fab Filter Pro C2.
Of course you did. Yeah,
Because
wicked.
It's actually not as advanced as the others. I can
It's pretty straightforward, isn't it?
Yes, but I wanted to put it in because it can do some pretty crazy things, and it is an expensive one. While we're on the subject of FabFilter, also this week I worked out. We talked about FabFilter knob slippage,
Yeah, I remember it well.
where you're tweaking a knob and suddenly it just flies up to like maximum. I worked out why that happens.
Why?
So, as it turns out, FabFilter knobs have two places you can click them.
Yes, that's right.
There is the main circle, and there is the nubbin.
the outer ring.
Yes, the nubbin which points to where the knob is.
Yeah, right.
If you drag the main circle, it's up and down with the mouse.
Yeah.
If you drag the nubbin, you're moving your mouse around the circle.
Yeah.
So I must have been clicking one, expecting it to act a certain way, and it didn't.
Okay.
And then it just whaps to maximum. I get my ears blown off.
I always go for the main circle, to be honest. I don't even think about it. Well, that's a good X-File style mystery that you've solved there. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Another FabFilter thing. We were talking about Pro Q3.
Oh yeah.
And I have suddenly, out of the blue, been asked to review it for Attack Magazine.
Oh, Attack Magazine, eh?
Attackmag.com. That is underway, and so I actually got to use it. I'm not the biggest Pro Q user, although
Why not?
I do use it. I'm just not the biggest user.
Okay.
I don't.
How big are you?
I'm large.
But not the biggest, okay.
But Pro Q3 has been really interesting and it works really well. I still don't think the dynamic side of it is like, it's not necessarily how I work, but I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have upgraded to it just for me.
Yeah, I mean that was my thought upon seeing what it contains in the new version.
But there are loads of cool things you can do. And I think one of the massivest things
That's a real word.
is the whole mid-side or left-right per band. And you can just drag in a side low-cut filter and monoize the lows from Pro Q3 without relying on anything else. So that's
Well, I mean, you could kind of do that before anyway, but I guess you
but
couldn't
all
do
your
left
bands,
and right stuff.
All your bands would have to be mid-side, and you couldn't do left-right at the same time. In the
Yeah,
same
no,
instance.
that's fair enough.
Another cool thing is actually I messed around with the presets, which no one ever does with an EQ, because why would you?
Why would you?
But they did spark off some cool ideas, such as using left-right sort of opposing left-right filters
To
for
make
the same
it
thing.
stuff stereoer.
Yeah, exactly. And there are some inspirational things in there.
That's cool.
Now that it's got so many features. But yeah, bit of Pro Q3.
Okay, are we ready to talk about clipping?
Have you just been sitting there
Yeah.
through the animal noises,
Yeah, that's what all I've been thinking about.
through the advanced compressors? You've just been thinking about clipping. Okay, what did I say to you before the podcast started?
Well, you said you didn't believe that clipping existed.
I think it's all a massive conspiracy.
So explain,
No,
please.
I'm joking. Clipping obviously exists. I don't think it's I don't think it's quite the red line that.
No, it isn't, mate.
Literally, it is, but I don't think it's quite the red line people treat it as. If you think about how a speaker actually moves, if you clip, let's say you clip 2 samples, then yeah, the speaker will try and hit the same amplitude on both samples, but it will go up towards the first clip sample, go past it, fall back down towards the second clip sample, and then keep going. Now, if you have more and more and more and more and more clipped samples, then that's gonna, in the analog domain, that's not gonna be, that's gonna start sounding worse. But also, if you load up a properly mastered, or I say properly mastered, if you load up a CD and drag the 16-bit WAV into your DAW, from what I've found whenever I've done this, it's clipping to fuck.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think they're exploiting that factor.
Totally.
They're like intentionally putting it, say, I don't know, maybe it's just 1 dB, maybe it's even less. I don't know how much. They're just running it hot, and because it's 1 dB, it would only be about 1 dB of distortion, which no one would notice, but you do get that. I'm sure there's a sort of safety buffer built into speakers anyway, where you can't. It doesn't matter if you push them slightly harder. In fact,
Well,
I know
because
there
you
is.
can play a saw, you
Exactly.
can play a square wave through
Yeah,
them, and
true.
it's fine. So
It must be like that.
So yeah, Have I not talked to you about my mixing technique, James?
You run everything into a clipper.
I run everything to a clipper.
And you don't pan.
And I don't pan. But the important part...
Fucking maverick.
Is,
man.
I know, mate. And I smash that stuff through a clipper. And there are, I would say, there's more than a few dB getting taken off there. And if you look at a commercial waveform, like they are not like, you would get like sort of intersample peaks or whatever with those things, whatever. I don't think anyone cares. And do you know what I did recently, mate?
No.
I'll tell you. I have changed the way I've been clipping, son. That's right.
I've changed the way I've been clipping.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a Marvin Gaye song?
Yeah, don't sue me, blurred lines. I used to use Ozone, which you could clip very easily just by turning the character down, but it doesn't work quite like that now. So I've been using a standard clip by SIR Audio Tools. Yeah, mate. Which is flipping wicked, man.
Okay.
And it gives you ultimate control over your clipping. But I just go for the real simple hard clip and then just use the gain control, bit of oversampling.
Push it into there.
Boom. And this is the thing. If you're dealing with very, very short transient peaks, for example, your one-shots, the ear doesn't really notice when that is clipped. Whereas if you were to, for example, clip a sustained sine, that would be very obvious.
Right.
But if you're just using it to lop your transient sort of bits off, then it's great. And it sounds decent as long as you don't rag it too hard, and it makes things loud AF.
I'm trying to work it out. Does the oversampling help or hurt?
It sounds good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really understand it. I don't understand the difference. I mean, my understanding of clipping is you can't go over 1
if it sounds
or below
good.
-1.
If it sounds good, clip it.
Exactly. So yeah, but I tried a few different clippers. Would you believe? And they're all a little bit different.
You've always struck me as a man who cuts his own hair.
Yeah, I do. You know what? I do use hair clippers on my beard. So there's a little facial hair tip for you as well. Clipping, it's not just for your master chain.
You need a nice soft clipper.
Yeah, that's right.
Going on the face.
You sure do. So, I tried a few out. I tried Frontier, which is, I think that's what it's called, D16's free clipper.
That's just got to sort of switch soft clipping on or off.
Yeah.
But it's good. I use it for the podcast most of the time.
Oh, do you? Okay.
No.
Well, I highly recommend Standard Clip. And it was I got a discount for signing up to their newsletter. So I got it for like 17 quid, which for something I'm going to use on every project ever is pretty reasonable, I think.
Okay, that's good. I cannot argue with that.
No, well, you shouldn't try because I'm totally right. So, do we have any other thoughts on clipping?
No, other than to make the disclaimer that when you said that I said clipping doesn't exist, I didn't mean that.
That was a joke, was it?
Yes,
I see.
That was an exaggeration.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it doesn't matter about clipping now because you can
declip
in Isotope RX.
Oh, yeah, that is the other point. Because, if you do clip, then you can declip to an extent, and I'm sure it won't be crazy, but if it's a transient, who gives a shit, yeah?
Yeah, man. Transient's overrated, IMO.
Yeah, I say clip it. I say we move as a civilization from K12 to K6.
Oh my
and clip
god!
It by 6 dB.
Do you know
there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I take off
K4 even.
I take off like 6 or 7 dB or whatever with my clipping in the master, I think it is. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, bruv. I mean, the thing is, you just don't want to do it audibly. I've had masters of my stuff come back, and they've had like audible clipping on, and that is not cool. So that's kind of like why I like to do it myself as well. And plus, then you're given more control over how the final master's going to sound.
That's funny because this podcast is sponsored by Audible Clipping.
yeah. Shouting into the microphones. I was going to say something else, but I totally can't remember what it is now.
Declip stuff? Or...
No, I don't know.
Oh, well, that's all good. That's all fair enough. I can't believe we had a sort of long discussion about clipping.
Yeah,
But
it's
we
because we're
went there.
interesting people.
One final thing I've been doing recently, I should have said this last time, but I forgot about it. I was judging the Mixed in Key 2 Genres contest, which is a contest where people have to mash up 2 genres.
Oh, okay. Well, you know all about that, don't you?
Yeah, I'm the resident knower.
Like
of those
sort of
things.
like psytrance and fairground organ music.
Yeah, exactly.
Mashups. That's your kind of your wheelhouse.
It's
isn't
my reason to be.
it? Right. I didn't realize it was that serious. Okay.
So yeah, that was a case of listening over and over and over again to 20 entries that had been shortlisted and choosing the ones I liked the most for 3 categories. Those categories were the grand prize, which is like basically mixing 2 genres to make a new one. There's the best hook, and there was the craziest combo of genres.
Okay.
So yeah, I eventually managed to pick 3 winners for that. It was pretty hard to pick the winners.
How come?
Because there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Okay.
Some didn't agree with me, but fair enough. And of the 3 people I picked, 2 of those won the actual prizes.
Okay.
And the third person who won was my 4th place.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Well, it sounds
So,
like you're pretty spot on.
Yeah, my musical tastes have been vindicated.
Yeah, nice. So, can you tell us anything about the genres created?
Yeah, it's all public. One of them was a track by someone called, I want to pronounce it Quaid, but I'm pretty sure it's Quaid.
Start the reactor, Quades.
Yeah.
I'll see you at the party, Richter. Should I carry on?
That was a track.
These people need
Cohagen. That was a track that combined surf rock and trap.
Oh, wow, okay.
Which
That's what the world's been waiting for.
Yeah, and there was another one which combined doo-wop and just modern pop music, which was actually, that was especially good. And both of those were really, really good. There's another one called Love Blind, which was a sort of 3/4 signature, which captured my imagination. That combines waltz, acoustic pop, and electronic, but, you know, it's basically mostly electronic music in 3/4, which is quite bold these days, really.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. There was a bit of experimentation with time signatures in the 90s because it was the best and most innovative decade, but that seems to have just completely disappeared now.
Yeah, you get some things popping up, but yeah, I mean, why do you reckon it is?
Well, this dude who I was talking to, I was like, why aren't people experimenting in time signatures anymore? And he was like, well, mate, if you do stuff in 3/4 time, it sounds like electro swing, so I don't bother. And that was his answer.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it will always sound like a sort of 19th century waltz, whatever you do, but
well,
you can make that cool.
There are a few really good 3/4 time and even weirder time signature D&B tunes from the 90s, which I'm a big fan of. But yeah, it has like, I literally haven't heard anything like that for 20 years, basically. So
Annoying stuff. But yeah, it's good to see a contest like this with people trying to smash together 2 interesting things, and yeah.
Well, in this postmodern age, there's nothing new under the sun, is there, mate? So all we've got is just smashing older ideas together, I guess, to try and create something new, like splitting the atom, basically.
Yeah, like the Large Hadron Collider.
Exactly.
Was built to do.
Hopefully, it'll create a gigantic black hole that will consume the Earth instantly. That'd be nice.
That's my hope as well. GarageBand, the door we like to scorn.
I don't scorn GarageBands.
Okay.
People have made big tunes in it.
Well, it is 15 years old.
Fucking hell.
Yep.
That is depressing.
There is a video of the original launch, Steve Jobs joined by John Mayer at Macworld 2004. I was thinking we watch it and do our signature Rye comments.
Oh, let's get Rye. Pastrami on Rye.
4 great apps that work seamlessly together in iLife 04.
It's going to be a lot of editing.
But
God,
today
iLife.
we're announcing
Remember
something
that?
so cool.
Nope.
This app that's going to be part of the iLife family
This
and
is
its
a very
name
low
is
quality video.
GarageBand.
And I am going to eat a pan au chocolat while we do this.
What?
It's proper Beavis and Butthead.
Pro music tool, but it's for everyone. It's for all of us. And what it does is it turns your Mac into a pro-quality musical instrument and complete recording studio. One app.
One app?
You could say,
One
well,
app in a complete recording
this
studio.
is a kind of a niche thing, right? No.
Niche. It's pronounced niche,
I hate
Steve.
it when they say niche. I really
so
do.
dumb.
1/2 of all U.S. households have at least one person who is a current musician.
That does
somebody who
not
played
sound
something
right.
In high school 20 years ago, but currently plays a musical instrument. 1/2 of U.S. households. This is a really big market, and we think GarageBand is.
People tend to inflate whether they are a musician.
Yeah.
You can
Especially
digitally
non-musicians.
mix up to
Yeah, I mean,
64
I might call
tracks
myself a
right
musician,
on
and we
the
both
Mac.
know that ain't true.
Play over 50 software instruments that we've included right in GarageBand. These are super high quality software instruments that you can play if you have a USB or MIDI keyboard. You can use over 1,000 professional loops. For those of you familiar with sound,
This sounds almost as good as Magic's Music Maker, mate.
Over 1,000 professional loops. Do you know how much that would cost?
I don't know, like £1 million quid?
Comes with you. Of course, you can record live audio performances. You have over 200 pro quality audio effects.
Really?
200
That sounds
audio
like-
effects.
that sounds like how many
Guitar amps.
presets
In
it had
other
in it.
words,
Yeah.
You can plug your electric guitar.
Yeah,
right
clap
into
for the
your Mac
guitars.
and pick from vintage or modern guitar amps, because guitar players love this, and record.
No,
right
they
on your
don't.
Mac. So software instruments, this is a really big deal. Software instruments right on your Mac. One of these is a $50,000 Yamaha grand piano.
Wow, so it's worth
Right
50
on
grand,
the Mac.
right?
Right? If you've got a kid
We're just
that
giving
plays
these
the
things
piano,
away.
and they've got a Mac, you can get them GarageBand, a pair of headphones, and a USB keyboard, and they've got a $50,000 grand piano in their bedroom.
No, they haven't.
No,
They got
haven't,
a
Steve.
sampled $50,000
Yeah.
grand piano.
Not only do we have over 1,000 pre-recorded loops by great professional musicians, but these things adjust their tempo.
I thought they said they
and
had
pitch
1,000. Now it's
automatically
50,000. What
to
is going
whatever
on?
You're doing.
Propaganda.
And of course, live recording.
It's fake news, mate.
Vocals, whatever you want. And this is all in one app.
What? One app?
What?
This is
Oh.
what it looks like.
This will never happen.
GarageBand.
Oh, it looks like shit.
It looks like Mixcraft.
To help me demo GarageBand, I'm not a musician, and so we asked.
Don't
a
sell
friend of
yourself
ours,
short, Steve.
Thank
John
fuck
Mayer.
Steve Jobs was not a musician. John Mayer,
That is a really crap album cover, by the way.
he's been 14 years old for the last 20 years.
I like his hoodie.
Now, the first thing we're going to do, John's a guitar player, but he volunteered to play keyboards for us too here.
What am I
and
doing?
so we're going to bring up GarageBand and just give a very simple demo. First, I want to show you, have you hear these software instruments. So,
Let's hear him, Steve.
Would you like some of my pan au chocolat?
GarageBand should be coming up. Here we go. And I've loaded a bunch of software instruments into this project. And so we're just going to have John play. We don't have to record anything or do anything fancy.
Get on with
That's
it,
what the
John.
piano is.
Steve. I love the audio codec
John's playing
they've
a
used
MIDI
on this.
keyboard that's
Yeah,
recording
it
this
looks and
naturally.
sounds
That's all
great.
we need.
Gotta love the data
USB or MIDI
compression.
keyboard.
Yeah,
There's the
yeah.
piano. Let's keep going.
Clap for the clav, guys. Come on.
Yeah, this is great and everything, but can you put it through a Goose emulator?
yeah. They missed a trick there, mate. What? I don't understand why people are applauding this. Presumably they have no idea what a Chord Game 1 sounds like.
Isn't this awesome? Some rock.
Pads.
This was a great find, mate.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, get your trap on, John.
Play guitar.
A 70s electric piano like a Rhodes.
Oh, sounds rubbish.
Yeah, they really ran this video through a clipper, didn't they?
They should have done, mate.
Percussion like this jazz kit.
Oh, he's terrible
That's
at keyboard
how
drums.
I would play it if I was demoing it.
Oh no.
Here's a cathedral organ.
Nice organ. Fair play.
All in the key of C, by the way.
And a classical guitar.
It makes me want to listen to a Sting album.
Later years, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's really cool. And I was telling Steve yesterday when I first tried this out.
It's really weird when he started playing the fucking lute. Remember that?
No, what was that?
He started playing the lute.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what that was all about. Was that a noughties thing?
Yeah.
Weird decade.
It's obviously off his tits on tantric sex.
And this is the first time I've ever heard a guitar sound like a guitar on a keyboard, especially
Shut
with
up.
Oh, you lying bugger.
bend into a note. It's back to back on grand piano now, but when it was for the guitar, you can hear it. String noise in there too, so it has all the attack and all the kind of sound.
Almost as if they sampled it.
Yeah, wow, it's like the first time that's ever been done, right, guys?
And so any time.
Do you reckon Steve Jobs looks like an evil
You
owl?
want to just play something on the piano and I'll just go ahead and record it.
Al from...
Owl, as in
Oh, right.
the bird of prey.
Yeah, he kind of does, actually. People vaguely bobbing their heads. Look, he's rolling up his jeans in a funky fashion.
He's rolling up his jeans and down his turtleneck.
This is why the noughties was kind of like the end of cool, basically. It was all over at this point.
Yeah, when they started getting nerds to be the cool thing.
Yeah. Even I know that's a bad idea. Bit of a head bob from John there.
I don't think they're going to mix it.
You don't need to mix it when
So
you
you
got
see what we
GarageBand.
can do with this. It's incredible, John. Thank you. It's creating the mix down really fast for us here.
Bouncy audio, mate. Who would have thought?
I know.
It creates the mix down.
Offline
It's gonna load it
audio
right
export.
iTunes create a special playlist for me so I know exactly where it is, and I can put it right on my iPod.
I guess people weren't used to seeing it done in this transparent sort of fashion. I guess
Yeah.
music production and recording would have been demystified, I guess, by this.
So,
I mean, it was
pretty neat.
2004.
Yeah, man.
It's fair enough to say it was impressive,
Yeah.
especially for the average person.
Yeah. Shall I pause that?
So
Yeah.
this-
Still would like to see John Mayer grapple with some dynamic EQ
Yeah, it's like...
at Macworld 2004.
Yeah, totally. It's like, if you're not, they haven't mentioned mid-side. Do you know what I mean?
Come on, Steve.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was never a big Steve Jobs fan. It does seem like Apple have really gone downhill since he passed on, basically.
Steve Jobs was the only thing. He was single-handedly upholding Moore's law.
Yeah, exactly. He was like Atlas, holding it up. Oh, man.
That's why he was such an irritable ass.
Yeah, right, I see.
But yeah, it's good to see, good to remember every so often that GarageBand exists, because it's a lot of people's intro into music production, and it's I don't know. On reflection, it's pretty good that Apple are doing or were doing things like this and are still doing them. When you compare that to Windows, who don't give you anything.
Yeah.
Except Windows Media Player and
video editor, is it?
The sound recorder thing. Do you remember the classic sound recorder?
Yeah, like what it was ahead of its time because it was one button functionality.
Yeah. What was that? What was the sort of mixer that you could get to? Like,
the actual Windows built-in mixer where you could set the MIDI level. Oh god, and the WAV level. Oh Jesus.
So I guess on reflection,
yeah.
all this is probably a good thing.
Yeah, totally. And it was pretty canny of them to buy Logic as well, but eMagic back in the day, I guess.
Yeah.
And incorporate everything, and Logic's still pretty popular. I feel like they've kind of done an all right job with it,
Yeah. I think we can drop our usual skepticism and enjoy that this thing existed.
Yeah, and it still does exist.
Oh, skepticism comes flooding back.
yeah, it's real, James.
Okay, it's time once again for the section we call What the Fuck Propellerhead.
Nice.
And, oh dear.
What are they doing, bro?
What aren't they doing? Oh. So, back with Reason 7 or 8, they introduced a ridiculous thing called Ali Hooper, which is...
Oh, I remember talking about this.
Yeah.
It was like, who is this Ali Hooper woman?
Yeah, exactly. Now, it was basically a sort of collaborative platform.
Oh, rolls eyes.
Social media for producers. Which they launched along with their apps, Figure and Take, which were kind of good.
What was Take? Was that some kind of recording thing? Because I do not remember it.
Take was recording via your phone, 3-track recording. Figure was 3-track drum, not going to call it a drum machine, but it was a drum generator. Mm-hmm. And you could export from Figure, from Take, or from Reason to Ali Hooper, and everyone could download, reuse, and re-export to Ali Hooper your things, and it would sort of track, this person made this beat, and I recorded this using Take, and then this dude put it into Reason and did some stuff to it, and here's the finished track.
And it sounds awful, presumably.
Well, one of the main problems was that you could only do a stereo export, whatever you were doing it from. So
great.
You got just the stereo for the drums, and then the dude puts some vocals on it with Take, and then you have the whole thing just one stereo track. And then when you get that into Reason, it's a stereo track, which you can put something next to it, but you can't change it. And yeah, it was kind of like, you have a login, you can comment on stuff, you could like stuff if you wanted to. But yeah, on about a year ago, about 15 months ago, they decided to cut this loose from Propellerhead and make it its own sort of separate company. And now, guess what's happening?
Tell me, James.
It looks like they are shutting it down.
Probably for the best,
yeah.
I'd say.
It says the Ali Hooper business say they can no longer afford to be in business.
What a massive surprise.
Yeah, and this social media sort of thing will be switched off for good on the 17th of January. And all data will be destroyed by a fire.
Wicked. What, put into a giant burning bin?
Yeah. Now, so obviously, this wasn't going to last, and we would have known this from the start because it's a silly idea.
Yeah, this is the sort of absolute pinnacle of the sort of stuff that we would slag off and say is dumb.
Yeah, it's the sort of shit that's dreamed up by a marketing person.
Can I go off on one and
please,
give you my hot
please.
take?
Oh God, yeah.
All of these things, like these kind of social networks designed for making music together, they just seem to be created by people who have no idea what it's like to actually make music, and don't seem to they seem to be going for this mass market audience that I don't think it's probably there yet. And it's, and the thing is, what making music is like, James? It is a serious slog, and it's not like an advert where you're hanging out with your mobile and you're thinking, hey, I've got an idea for this crazy rhythm, and then you tap it into an app, and then 15 minutes later you've collaborated with all your mates around the world.
And you've gone viral.
It's more like, oh, I've got an idea for a thing. Let me spend about 1 million hours on my computer, and then it's going to be a really complicated project that if I want to collaborate with somebody, I've got to WeTransfer it over to them because it's many gigabytes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the reality of making music, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, very true. And it has been for a while. But yeah, people keep coming out with these things. And it's not like collaboration is something that needs a solution.
No, it's fine. Collaborating is fine.
It's just send an email with the stuff, use Dropbox, use WeTransfer, sit in the same room, whatever you need to do. Like,
That's
it's not going to help to be on a social media site.
Yeah, it frustrates me because the kind of implication, or certainly what I infer from this sort of thing is, hey, music making's really easy and a bit of a laugh. It's neither of those things, James. It's very, very hard and very depressing and misery making. That's the reality of making music.
Yeah, those figure and take apps were actually like they were fun. I'll call them fun.
But you're not going to make music.
It's not original, certainly.
Well, like the thing is, there have certainly been instances where you've had poor quality recordings taken with a phone featuring on a bit of, popular commercially released music, but you don't want to base everything around a recording from a phone because it's going to sound like ass.
I can't argue with you. I'd like to compare and contrast two quotes. One is September 2017 when they let Ali Hooper be a separate company. As Ali Hooper steps out on its own, the team at Propellerhead is excited to watch it continue to revolutionize the way people collaborate to make music on a global level.
Wow, big dreams.
And December 2018, it can no longer afford to be in business.
Wicked. Well, that seems like a lesson for us all there.
I think what this is, when you get people who are business people, people who come in because they need to be in charge of this massive business that has a load of investors.
Yeah.
They know a lot about business, but when it comes to being a specialist in what the company actually makes, they have very little idea, and they tend to listen to the advice given to them by other business people.
Yeah.
And so when they say, well, social networks are really hot right now.
Yeah, totally.
And when someone goes to a company and says, Instagram's very hot right now, it's like, no, we're a company that makes music/audio things.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be on Instagram. No one really in the music world, unless they're connecting with their normal fans and doing a load of shows, like a plugin developer doesn't need to waste time on Instagram.
No.
I'm sure they'll get a little bit of traction from it, sure. But why not be somewhere else? Why not be on SoundCloud? Why not be somewhere where producers actually are? Yeah, producers are on Instagram, just like everyone, just the same percentage as everyone.
Yeah.
But when the business people who are in charge of running a big business hear, oh, you got to do this because these other businesses did it and they did well. Okay, well, we must be exactly the same as all those other businesses, and so we should do the exact same thing that they do. And you get shit like this.
I think you're spot on with that, mate. I mean, I guess it must be very tempting for all these companies to think, okay, social is where all the cash is. That's what the future is. But look at something like, for example, Extra Records Serum, which is just a very simple, straightforward product that does the thing and is sold in a non-complicated way and is absolutely massive because it's a good product.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
And there's no head honcho CEO
exactly
worked at a million companies with 500 employees.
Exactly.
You know the tangent here, but do you know the note-taking software called Evernote?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
It's basically a really bad note-taking app / website browser-based thing, and it's quite simple. It's effective and it's good, but they have in America they have a whole building with billions of employees for this note-taking app.
Right.
Whereas we know that a team of 3 people could create and maintain this exact same thing just as well. But they put it all into marketing and trying to get people to use it and trying to make people go premium.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of ridiculous business douchey stuff which is just it gets to me every time. You know what else gets to me every time?
Tell me.
Big gaming companies buying franchises that everyone likes and destroying them.
Oh, don't get me started, mate. Burnout, anyone? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There are a billion examples, obviously.
Yeah.
Civilization destroyed.
Oh, really? You're not keen on how it's gone? I mean, my little brother was saying that he's not really keen on the direction of 6.
Yeah, and all of them, I think Halo even went a bit downhill. At least Bungie went downhill for a while when it was acquired. Everyone gets acquired by this thing, And, you know, this is exactly what we're seeing here. People come along and invest, and all of a sudden, the people who actually use our stuff don't like this crazy business thing.
Yeah. It's frustrating and it's annoying. And the thing is, it's a waste of resources as well. It's just like they could have invested their time and money in doing something much, much better, basically. So yeah, it's a real sad state of affairs. And like, to be honest, I think in music tech, I think the people that seem to be successful are the ones who kind of keep it small. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people who don't go off on a crazy one.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. They just keep it simple and they don't sell out. It's all selling out.
Just make a good product, guys. Just make good products. Don't worry about all that other bullshit. Like, the thing is, if you've got a good product, other stuff will come from that. Like, I think it's working from the top down to be like, okay, everyone's going to use this and you're going to be able to collaborate online. That just, like, I don't think we're ready for that shit yet.
The world's messed up.
Really is, mate. And this is by no means the most messed up thing about it, though it is near the top, clearly.
However, Propellerhead have done something good and interesting.
Oh, really? Ooh, look at this.
Complex One is a modular synth, which is a Reason device. It's a Reason rack extension made by Propellerhead.
Yeah.
And one of the interesting things about this, they seem to have done something good. And because it's a modular system, obviously you'd expect a bunch of patch cables. And because it's Reason, obviously you'd expect a bunch of patch cables. The two go together.
Yeah, totally.
This would be the first time that you've got patch cables on the front of the Reason rack.
Whoa.
Although, personally, I think what should have been is when you load it up, you just get the back of it and you have to flip the rack to get the front of it. And then you patch everything.
Yeah.
But this is pretty cool. Do you want to play the video at the top?
Yeah, sure.
So, modular system in Reason.
Ooh.
The weirdest, the coolest, the most sound-bending, groundbreaking textures. They don't
The
come
most
from
sound-bending.
single sense.
Can I just talk for a second?
Please.
About all the marketing bullshit that we're getting in music tech now. It's like, people are going to listen to this sound-bending shit, whatever. It's meaningless. Give us some actual data, basically.
Yeah.
Shall I carry on?
Well, you will also note that as much as this voiceover is good, it's a bit Disney.
Yeah,
It's a bit, Mom says it's just magical.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's a bit too full of wonder.
Yeah,
but
there should be no wonder in
I
music.
say that as a hardcore cynic, but, you know, I'll let it slide.
I think if you've been making music for any period of time, you're a hardcore cynic. So let's crack on with this, shall we?
Sample libraries. They come from blank canvases of synthesis possibility.
Yeah.
Complex One by Propellerhead is our most ambitious and, yes, our most complex instrument to ever land in the Reason rack. But the results? So worth it.
Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
So worth it, mate. It does look nice.
Inspired by our favorite synthesis concept.
Look, I can't wait to ask this question. Can you plug the knobs on the front of this to stuff on the back of other stuff? Because it seems like that would be impossible.
That is a good question, actually. I assumed you could, but then you'd have,
You have to
flip
flip around
the rack.
the rack.
Ooh.
Unless it looks the same on both sides.
And they don't show that happening in the video. That is interesting.
Well, it seems like they've missed a flipping trick already.
Oh, they really would have done if that's the case.
Yeah,
I
that's-
hadn't even considered that wouldn't be possible. Let's check it out.
Concepts by legends like Don Buchla and Robert Moog, Complex One
Yeah,
is a
apparently inspired by East Coast and West Coast synthesis.
Wow, both coasts.
Coast to coast.
Yeah.
and all the deep.
Oh, stop it again.
Nope.
Sound.
One more thing.
Yeah.
You better be able to patch two of these together.
Yeah, I'm not
Like,
sure
if you set up
can.
two instances,
Yeah.
you better be able to patch one into the other.
I don't know if they've done it. Let's carry on.
Thanks to its 4 times oversampled signal processing and limitless routing. Complex One is built around a true modular synthesis architecture. We're talking jacks and cables. It obeys the same conventions and workflow that makes hardware systems so beloved. If you've used those, you'll feel right at home, and vice versa too. If Complex One is
I love
the entry point
cables.
for modular synthesis,
They
Just
are
a mess
nice.
of cables.
everything you learn here will translate
like a
when you
bird's
find
nest.
yourself patching a hardware rack in the real world. Signals travel from oscillators and noise generators through VCAs, wave shapers, filters, and low-pass gates, and can get further modulated by LFOs, step sequencers,
Oh, dear.
signals, feedback.
Come on, Propellerhead.
Okay, you can stick an audio signal into it around the back, but I don't think you can patch it.
While still
That is
carefully
dumb,
controlling
I think you're right.
a well-thought
Oh,
system.
That's a missed
Complex One is
opportunity.
as
it
much
really, really is.
as it is a happy accident machine. Try things out.
You're a happy
It's
accident
okay to
machine.
not know what sound lies at the other end of the cable you're holding until you plug it in.
Yeah.
There might be advanced textures and.
I mean, I'm sure you can get very complicated just using the instrument alone, but the thing is, the fact it's part of reason,
What just happened?
it makes it just feel like a missed opportunity instantly.
That's the
It really does.
architecture.
Oh,
hypothesis.
that's
It's not impossible
annoying,
to learn,
to be honest.
But it is impossible to ever completely master, and that's exactly how.
I don't want a synth that's impossible to ever completely master. I want a synth that I can master right away, please. Okay, should we see how many clams it is?
Yes.
89 UK clams.
So that would be about, what, 99 clam
Dollar.
dollars? Mm.
And Euro clams, yeah, I guess so.
See, I do like the idea of this, but the very fact that they missed the trick of being able to, seemingly missed the trick of being able to patch it to other Reason devices, which would be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I mean, maybe that would have required a big change to Reason's architecture.
yeah,
But why bother doing this shit?
why not just create all the devices that go into this modular system as separate
separate
devices,
things.
and you can load them all as one if you want.
Do you know
to.
what? There's no reason that it shouldn't do what we want.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm sure it's good.
It's priced reasonably.
Yeah, I can't always say I'm sure it's good when it comes to a Propellerhead product, but this I can.
Yeah.
But it just feels like that. Yeah, it feels like they've missed something.
Yep. Hey, there's a trial version at least.
Yeah. It's yeah. So round the back, what have you got?
You've got a sequencer control with CV, gate, pitch bend, and mod wheel outputs, and then external routing with CV out, CV in, and audio in. So
I mean,
yeah.
you can patch stuff to it. You can patch CV and audio to it, but you have to do that like through double connectors around the back and then access those through the front. I mean, yeah, the thing is, if you had connected this, if this connected to all the other stuff, then it would be even messier a
True.
tangle of patch cables than it would have been before.
True.
But Reason's all about messy patch cables, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm in two minds, but I just dislike the fact that you can't do that because that's what Reason's all about.
Yeah, that's Reason's like sort of a remaining USP, really.
Yeah. Rack and ruin.
Oh, James, I am medically exhausted. How are you?
I think I've had my fill of you and of me.
You lucky boy. Okay, well, let's call that a wrap, shall we?
Yes, we are going to be back in about 2 weeks' time with a special episode that's not special at all, which we have recorded from the past.
Oh, wow. A journey back into the distant past of this sort of time.
Because I'm going away for a month starting tomorrow, and if I die on the plane, then there ain't no more appetite for production.
Well, actually, mate, I've already lined up your successor, so don't even worry about it.
Excellent, nothing to worry about. See you next time.
Take care. Bye-bye.